Okay, bye. Love you. Hey guys, welcome back to Beating the Tree Books for another late night reviews. Today, we're going to be reviewing Fearless by Lauren Roberts. If you're new here, don't forget to grab a drink of choice, get cozy, and stay tuned for the rest of this video. My drink of choice today is hot chocolate with caramel cold foam, and it's in a cute little cat cup that looks just like my cat. Let's get started. So, per usual, I have a whole pros and cons list that I can't wait to share with you guys. But first, let's start on the rating. I ended up rating Fearless 5 out of 5 stars. I genuinely absolutely loved this book. So being that Fearless was a 5-star read for me, the only con that I have is that it absolutely crushed my soul. There's a few minute details that I may have brushed to the side. It wasn't enough for me to deduct points. Story in general was really, really good, and I really don't have any complaints. So the first pro that I have is that we get to visit every single place on the map. In Powerless, we get Ilia and the Kingdom. In Reckless, we get Scorches and the surrounding cities. And in Fearless, we get the last remaining piece, which is the Shallows. I really love how with this series, we actually get to visit each place on the map, not only because it's just a really fun adventure, but I feel like there's a lot of books where the maps are just so big and there's so many places that we don't even actually visit most of them. They're just kind of placeholders. And I know I'm not the only one who is reading a book constantly going back to the map, like trying to find wherever we're staying, and it can be a lot. But with this one, the maps are not only really easy to read, but they're simple and they're a lot of fun. Another thing that I love is not only do we get to visit different places on the map, but the maps are actually different as well. So in Powerful and in Reckless, we get this kind of squared off map that just has the Shallows, the Scorches, the surrounding cities. But in Fearless, it's almost kind of like a globe-shaped map, and we get most of the Shallows and some of the other surrounding cities that maybe we haven't seen before. Another fun thing is I got to learn a little bit of information, and she actually is not done writing about this world. She just completed the series, as in she's moving on from these characters, but we will still be getting more books from this world, which is really, really fun. My next pro is a silly little personal thing of mine. This book made me want to theorize everything. I am not a very smart reader, and that means I'm very gullible when it comes to reading books. I'm the type of reader who will read every single clue and never catch on to it. So by the time the end rolls around, there's that huge twist, I am absolutely mind boggled. But this one actually kept my brain moving quite a bit. The gears were turning. It was really easy to want to predict what was going to happen. And I love books that make me feel so involved in the story that like I have to figure out what's going to happen before I read it. And that kind of brings me to my next pro, which is I just kept wanting more. This book made me want to never put it down. Even when I got to the epilogue and I knew that the series was over, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going. Not only that, but I want to read this whole series a million times over again. These books are so ridiculously addictive. Everything I love in reading. The next pro that I have on this list is quite an obvious one, but like, Kaiser? Kaiser, anyone? I was talking with a friend about who we thought the best book boyfriend was, and we both agreed that it has to be Kai. I have a lot of book boyfriends, right? We have Xaden from Fourth Wing, Cade from Elsie Silver series. We have so many good book boyfriends, right? But I think Kai takes the cake. Not only is he a little bit broody, right? A little bit morally gray. He reminds me of Xaden in like kind of his more like brutish type vibes, but he's so poetic. He still has that like boyish feel to him and that like romantic feel to him where he's still gonna go out of his way to do anything for Peyton, but he's still manly if that makes sense. Maybe I'm crazy, but Kai, in my world, is definitely the best book boyfriend out there. Okay, I have 2 more pros for you guys. The next one would be that we got a new point of view for this book. There was a couple chapters throughout the book where it was a completely different point of view. It was really interesting because it was a point of view that I never thought that I was going to end up getting in the Powerless series, especially with how things go down in Powerless, which I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's a little hint. Having this other person's point of view was like leaving little crumbs around the book and like showing you where things are gonna end up going, but it's never really spoiling it. Okay, the last thing that I have to say about Fearless is it was suspenseful without being predictable. I had mentioned something similar in the Sunrise on the Reaping video that I did. It was super suspenseful, it was super action-packed, a lot of things are happening. When you see people bawling on the internet, you kind of have an idea on like what's gonna happen, but it still kept me on my toes. You can't always predict the future. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say about Fearless. I could probably ramble and yap with you guys for hours upon hours upon hours with Fearless and with this series in general. I want to reread every single one of these books, including the novella. Each character was really well written. I loved every single one of them. I truly felt like I was a part of their world. This series will forever be one of my favorite series. If you haven't read these books, please, please, please go check them out. I will forever be grateful for Lauren Roberts for writing these and also giving me inspiration to write my own book, which hopefully I'll post videos about that in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications for future late night reviews. Bye, guys.